Hey, what's up, you guys? Paco here. I wanted to do a video a little bit different from what we're used to here at TVGamers. I wanted to do something a little bit more personal this time. Something where I talked about a personal story or something. And today in particular, I wanted to talk about why I bought a 2DS. Probably you could have guessed that based on the title of the video. But, that's what we're going to talk about today. And the reason I wanted to talk about it is that I am surprised with the amount of flack and the amount of hate that the 2DS gets on the internet, based solely on the fact that it's the budget version of the 3DS. And I think that the 2DS might just be for some people out there that don't know how, which version should they get. So I wanted to light a little bit. How do you say? Put a little light on the subject, right? So what? Well, I bought my 2DS around late September last year, 2014. And the reason I bought it was because Smash Brothers for 3DS was on the way, and I think that the demo had just come out, so all my friends were playing Smash Brothers, and honestly, all of my money was either set towards Pokemon Omega Ruby or Super Smash Brothers for Wii U or Bayonetta 2 or Hyrule Warriors, So I was left with very little money, because I knew that I was gonna buy the 3DS, and then I was also gonna buy like Smash Brothers, so I knew that my budget was tight. So I started checking about the different versions that there were for the 3DS. Back then, there were no new 3DS or new 3DS XLs. To clarify that first. But I was checking the 3DS, the 3DS XL, and I felt that, well, a friend of mine had a 3DS and I played around with it, and I honestly felt that the 2DS the 3DS was very, very small, I felt that, I don't have particularly huge hands, but I honestly felt that the 3DS was very, very small, the grip was just not right. I felt like I was playing with something very, very small, made for tiny hands. And then, actually, a bunch of friends of mine have the 3DS XL, so I liked better how it felt, to be honest with you. I really liked it. I felt that it was the option for me. It had better battery life, bigger screens, better grip. I thought, this is probably it. I'm gonna make the sacrifice of paying a little more in exchange of having the best version of the 3DS, right? I wrote off the 2DS immediately. Either way, surfing through the internet, I actually found an article where they were comparing all versions of the 3DS. And they were saying, don't write off the 2DS immediately. It has some things very positive, And searching around YouTube as well, I said, well, let's see the 2DS because no friend of mine had it. I had no way to test it, to try it out. So I believe it was a review from Review Tech USA that I found, and he was talking about my exact same complaints and the exact same things that I felt about the 3DS, The 3DS is gimmicky, the sweet spot thing is ridiculous, the grip is very small, all of those things. So I thought, maybe maybe the 2DS is for me, and I was checking, the price tag is obviously cheaper, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna try it out. I'm going to try it, and if it doesn't work, maybe I'll sell it shortly afterward or whatever. But I tried it out, and I really, really liked it. You know, my dad was on a trip on Washington, and I asked him to buy it for me. He bought the black one with the blue lines. I really liked it. The design was simple enough. It was, I believe, $100. I mean, much like half what the XL is. And I really liked it immediately. I would not say that it's perfect, but then again, none of the 3DS systems have all that great of a grip. I will say that the battery life is much longer, or well, longer than the 3DS, and the same as the XL. But the only real catch here, I feel, is that it's not compatible with any of the Circle Pad Pro games. I mean, the games that can use it, you just can't use it with that game, with that 2DS. I'm sorry. But I've seen some really creative fans on the internet that have modded it and show how to do it. But I feel that if it's not made to do that, and if it looks all weird, so you leave it as is. I think that it's more trouble than it's worth. Besides, there's like 5 games that truly get benefited from the Circle Pad Pro. Most of them, it's just an option, and really a small option. So, I had a problem with the 2DS in the long run, that the shoulder buttons are kinda really far from the rest of the system. And this is not really a problem in most games, because either way, you use the shoulder buttons relatively little, and Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, I barely use them, if at all. And in Smash Brothers, you use them a little bit. Well, no, you use them quite a bit, but for some reason, Smash Brothers doesn't feel as weird. But shortly after I bought the 2DS, the first game that I bought was actually Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, and I was just amazed by how great the 3DS is in terms of gameplay and what you can do with that system. But that's another story, That's any 3DS system. But I had that problem with the shoulder buttons, and I found on the internet that there was this a grip made by PDP, I believe, that it's 2DS shoulder grip. I don't know, shoulder button something. I don't remember very well the name. But the idea is that you put that in with your 2DS, and what it does is that it gives you a grip that I'd honestly compare with the Pro controller. Seriously, that thing is a lifesaver, and I have not seen something similar be done to the 3DS or the XL. At least not as great. The only problem that I'd say that thing does have is that it does limit some of the shoulder response. It's good for Mario Kart and basically any other game. I also used it for Star Fox 64 3D. But when it came, for example, to Smash Brothers, that I'd use it very, very quickly. Then I'd have some issues with the response. But, minor problems here and there, But honestly, I've recommended it to DS to other people, because I think that you get basically the same product for less, Another problem that any other 3DS system has is that the hinge for the clamshell design eventually wears off very, very badly, to the point that a friend of mine was talking with me about Ocarina of Time. Oh no, I'm sorry, Majora's Mask 3D, and the how he really, really liked the gyro sensor controls, but at the same time he felt that the system was not designed around this, because when you move the 3DS around, the hinge that is kind of wore off moves, tilts around, and says that that's very inconvenient. And besides, you can't use the gyro sensor and have the 3D activated, because the sweet spot thing really, really leaves your side. Something that is not anymore an issue with the new 3DS, but the hinge thing, it still has a hinge. And overall, I'd say that if you are up to having a new a 2DS, a 3DS family system, and you're kind of short on cash, but still want to experience Fire Emblem, still want to experience Mario Kart 7, Smash Brothers, all of these classic games, Pokemon, I would recommend the 2DS. And if you're worried about compatibility with new 3DS games, so far it's only Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, which is already on the Virtual Console for the Wii U in some regions. I think that it will be in all regions soon enough. And the only other game I believe is Binding of Isaac, which I would also say that it's not a must, especially if you have a Wii U. So yeah, I recommend it to you guys. I guess that's it for now. Until next time, guys. Bye bye.